Welcome to Founders Feature, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Jen Funk, who helps people build better relationships. Short and simple, I'm looking forward to diving right into it, but Jen, a very warm welcome to Founders Feature.
Thanks, Zach. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. It's going to be a wonderful conversation. Before we dive into the good stuff, I do like to start with your background a little bit. So before relationship coaching, can you tell us what were you doing previously and what was really your inspiration for diving into this space?
Prior to getting into coaching, I've been home with my kids for a long time. And I think that's where we'll go back to the beginning. I was a child of divorce. My parents were divorced. My mom divorced my father when I was 3, my stepfather when I was about 12 or 13. And living through 2 divorces and the unpredictability and that unstable environment had me thinking that I want to design a life that's different from that. I knew that I wanted to have kids and I just wanted to create a different life for myself and my future family. Fast forward, my mom was a single mom during my teenage years. I did go off to college. I got a degree in psychology, so I've always been interested in human emotions and how the mind works. My earlier career was in sales, then I evolved into teaching. But in my late 20s, I met my now current husband, Casey. We have been married 24 years now. We have 3 children, one in grad school, one in college, and one almost out the door. She's a senior in high school. But it was a long road to get to this point. So when Casey and I started dating, we had some challenges come up right away. He was also a child of divorce. And what we realized is we were in love and we wanted this to work. And so we were big on commitment, but low on relationship skills, right? If you're a child of divorce, you oftentimes don't have the best modeling, right? Didn't have really good role models for how to make it work. So we got into therapy pretty early. We got into therapy before we got married. We continued to do therapy, most of our relationship as needed, and therapy took us quite far. We learned a lot, lots of awareness, lots of insights into therapy, but it was really coaching. What was so intriguing about coaching is all of the practical tools and skills and action steps in coaching that we found were impactful and so helpful to our relationship. And like I said, we're all works in progress, right? We've come a long way, but we still actively prioritize our marriage. We actively prioritize using the skills that we've learned. And so it developed just a passion in me for that. We were able to have me stay home with the kids, which is what I wanted to do. And then as my kids were launching into their lives, it's okay, what is the next chapter for me? And relationship coaching just became this beautiful blend of what I'm so passionate about and then the skill set that I had. So I initially started my practice just coaching women on making their relationships better. I do strongly believe that one person can impact a relationship. And then it has now evolved where I also work with men, I work with couples together, and it's just been this beautiful part of a second chapter for me. I've just loved it when I create value for other people and really can impact and save marriages and improve relationships. It's been awesome.
God knows more marriages need to be saved. Marriages need help.
Yep.
We could talk about this for an hour, and it's not the reason why we're here, but the reason why we see America declining at such a high rate for a very big reason is because we don't have good marriages anymore.
There you go.
It's very sad, but Jen is here to help.
That's right.
Thank you for that, Jen.
Of course.
Doing the Lord's work, absolutely. So when officially did you become a coach? How long ago was this?
About a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's dive into the business today. I'm sure maybe there have been some things that have changed throughout that year and a half, but
sure.
Let's dive into the present. What does working with Jen look like? How do you structure your work with your clients? Everything like that.
Yeah. So most of the clients that come to me, I'm on social media. I do have a newsletter that I put out that I put a lot of work into each week. I also have a podcast of my own. So when potential clients find me, the first thing is that we get on a free call, a consultation call, and determine where are they in their relationship? Where are they? Where do they want to be? Is coaching the right fit for them? And am I the right fit for them? So we spend some time trying to figure that out. If we do decide that it is a right fit, then I have a 3-month one-on-one coaching package that I offer. I like that time frame. It gives us enough time to really dig into the work. We start off evaluating, if I'm working with a couple, they each fill out the evaluation form where I have them rate the different areas of a relationship. So, for instance, communication, conflict resolution, trust and security, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, all the about 8 core areas. It's always very fascinating because they fill those evaluation forms out separately to bring them together at the first appointment and really see where they are. Because a lot of times there'll be some clear, obvious, maybe it's conflict resolution. They know they both are really challenged there, so they'll score that low. But it's really interesting when one scores something really high, one scores something really low. Let's say it's physical intimacy, one saying it's great, one saying it's not great, and they're not talking about it. I had no idea that there's this total misalignment between them. Starting off with that gives us a real starting point, right? To make sure that we are spending our time working on the most impactful areas that are going to be the most helpful, and we kind of work from there. And then after 3 months, we reevaluate. Where are we? Did we meet our goals? Have we made progress in the way that we hoped? And if not, then we continue the sessions and we do it for a little longer until they're feeling solid and that they've got some real tools and skills that they can take and move forward to continue improving. Even I always say, even the smallest percentage of improvement daily keeps the relationship moving forward.
Is it typically one meeting a week, 1 to 2 hours? Is that
It's
typical?
usually about an hour, just under an hour every week. It keeps it consistent, keeps it current. We always have, I'm big on action steps. I believe that it's one thing to have these concepts in your mind and thinking on them. It's another thing to have a real clear plan and have some real action steps. So there's homework every week.
Mm,
There is something to do. There is a plan. And I find a lot of people really respond to that. It's okay, tell me what to do. How do I make this better?
yeah.
So again, it's not me saying, oh, this is how you make your relationship better, but we can identify steps that can make, again, even small improvements can be huge over time.
Very well said. This is obviously very personal stuff, right? I
Yeah,
mean, people's relationships, right? Innermost
absolutely.
workings. I am curious, do you think or have you ever tried that some sort of group coaching would ever be possible here?
I love that. I love that you asked that because it's definitely in the works for 2026
Mm,
for my business. Especially, I'm a girl's girl. I love my female friendships are incredibly important to me. And the group dynamic, especially among women, I think is incredibly powerful, certainly among men also. But I'm going to start there just as I started my one on one coaching. I'm going to start with women and do a women's group in 2026. There's something really incredible when you get a group of people together that share the same values, right? Women that are really building into their relationships and they're not just complaining about what's not going well at home. They're there together with other like minded women working to make it better for themselves, for their children, for their families. So, yes, that
mhm.
is definitely in the works. And the power of group coaching is amazing.
Completely agree there. Because it is so intimate, I would love to know, where are you going to cap the amount of people for the group and why?
Yeah, my thoughts there, it's in the groups there'll be some teaching that will probably start with a particular topic, but then open up the floor to different conversation, one-on-one coaching in small bits, and probably need a couple hours to do that. But I really think capping it at 8. I wouldn't have
Mm,
any more than probably 6 to 8 women in a group at a time. I think it's really important, especially with the subject matter, that we have some flexibility with time. And if there's too many people in there, if someone gets caught up in their emotions, you want to have enough time and space to be able to take them full circle and bring them around before they're leaving. So yeah, I think smaller groups are better for group coaching in when you're dealing with relationships and heavy emotions
sure.
sometimes.
Very heavy emotions, that is for
Yeah,
sure. But I think setting the container,
absolutely.
right, and obviously, of course, having the correct facilitator as well, then group coaching blossoms in that space. So I
For
absolutely
sure.
love that you're heading there next year. You
Yeah.
mentioned you're on social media, you have the newsletter. Walk us
Yeah.
through your social media content strategy. Are you a long form, short form, mix of both? Walk us through that.
So I'm doing the podcast, which I love, called Relating with Jen Funk. Love that. I start with an original concept in my newsletter each week. I build it out on the podcast. So I also have that up on YouTube. So there's my long form content. That's also Relating with Jen Funk is that channel. That's what I love. I do like to talk, Zach. So sometimes having little sound bites are harder for me. I really like to come up with a concept and be able to talk about it a little bit and give people a more full, clear picture of the concept. So I am on social media. I'm working on that. I'll be honest, I wasn't a big social media person in my normal life. I might post a picture on somebody's a kid on their birthday, but wasn't super active. So that is an important component of visibility. I've got to get out there. People, I can't help people if they don't know how to find me. So I am working on that. I'm trying to be a little more diligent. My podcasts come out every Thursday, so I do try to have something up on social media on Thursdays for sure, promoting the podcast. And I'm working on getting more of that done through the week. So I'm a little more out there.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. Like, personally, I don't love social media, especially on the
Mm-mm.
personal aspect. If you
Yep.
want to know what's going on in my life, call me. And then the fact is, there's probably, excluding my parents, 3 to 5 people who would
Yeah.
actually call enough to care in my life. And that's true for
Yes.
most people, right?
Yeah.
So I get you there. I get you there.
Yeah.
But
It's just not my favorite, but it's an important thing. And honestly, it's like a blessing and a curse, right?
yeah, yeah. You clearly are very good at what you do. You have the experience. You just got to share it with the people now. And
There you go.
unfortunately, the people are on social media.
That's right. That's right. Got
So
to do
that
it.
makes it. Yeah, that is true. So I'm curious when it comes, so right now it sounds like YouTube, podcasts, the main ways you're getting out there. So when it comes to the end of a podcast or the end of a YouTube video, are you throwing any CTAs in there? Hey, it sounds like
I
you book a
am.
call. There's something below. Walk us through that.
Exactly. I am doing some of that. I am still trying to figure out the balance that doing the podcasting takes a considerable amount of time. I also want to be very available for my clients and have enough time to take on new clients. So I'm trying to do a call to action. I want people to work with me that want to. I also am trying to build my email list right now. So a part of it is also, hey, go to the website, get on the newsletter list, get on that distribution list, can follow the podcast, like and follow the YouTube channel. And then yes, certainly also if you need support in your relationships, then by all means, let's schedule a consultation call.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, you can't CTA the heck out of people. Every single time they
No,
see you, there can't be a CTA attached. So I get you that there's a balance there.
yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. In this work, my I measure my success in the impact that I'm making. It's not the number of clients, it's not revenue driven. I love making money. Certainly, we're working to make money, but that is not what is the most important thing to me. So, what is that? Like I said, I'm hopefully positively impacting people's lives, making them think differently about their marriages, helping them understand that they take work, relationships take work. Some people are like, oh, if you need help or support, there must be something wrong. No, there's not. There's not anything wrong. It's that it's every relationship takes work. So I like offering free value, right? My newsletter every week isn't just, hey, how's it going? I put a lot of thought into that content and I make sure that I talking through a concept very thoroughly that I think will be helpful and also giving people action steps that they can be taking. Even they're not working with me, they're just getting a newsletter each week. So that is important to me. The same thing with the podcast, giving free value for people. If they want something further, they need further support. I am open and would love to help anyone one on one. So sometimes I'm like, no, my intent also is to just be able to bless other people with what I've learned along the way. And again, what I'm just so incredibly passionate about.
It's about the impact. I
Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. When it comes to the podcast, obviously we're on a podcast right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to the length, what have you found to
Mhm.
be the right length for yourself and your audience?
I think a lot of my listeners are like me, middle-aged women. We're juggling our kids, juggling jobs and our marriages and all that. And sometimes we can fit in like a 30-minute walk. So I try to really think about, okay, my listeners are like me and we have a 30-minute drive taking a kid to soccer practice across town or something. So my solo episodes, I do episodes on my own, and then I also have guests. And my solo episodes, I try to keep to a tight 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And my guest episodes where I need a little bit more time, I usually try to hold it to 30, 35, maybe. That would be the
Mm,
longest. But I
yeah.
think that it's concise, but long enough for me to get the point across.
Yeah. It's a tough balance, but let's just be honest. We live in a short form world.
Yeah.
We do.
People want it
We
short,
sure
sweet.
do.
Give it to me. Just get to the point.
We're all busy. That's for
That's right.
sure. That's for sure. Jen, 2026 is slowly, but in my opinion, I'd say very quickly coming up. I know group coaching coming out in 2026. Any
Yeah.
other goals you've set for yourself in the business you're looking to achieve next year?
I have, and I've been brainstorming quite a bit what this next year is going to look like. So, in addition to some group coaching programs, I am also coming up with a couples retreat that I'm really excited about. So, that planning has already started to happen, and that's pretty cool. And then also doing a 30-day couples connection challenge. That is going to be coming up sometime this year. It's also in the works. I'm excited about all the little things that I'm working on that will come to fruition this year. So those are just a couple.
Great things in the pipeline. 2026
Yeah.
is going to be a good year. I love
Yeah.
it. Jen, where can the listeners find you? Where can they connect with you online?
So I do have a website. It's jenfunkcoaching.com. It's JENFUNK coaching.com. I'm also on social media, also Jen Funk Coaching on Facebook, on Instagram. And then again, my YouTube channel is the name of the podcast, and that is Relating with Jen Funk. And that's also, my podcast is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
I love it. Jen,
Yeah.
such a pleasure having you on. Great conversation. Thank you so much for your time today.
Zach, thanks a bunch. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. And that will wrap up another inspiring episode of The Founder's Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go and connect with Jen on all of her social media, her website, subscribe to that email newsletter. Be sure to check out the podcast as well. All those links will be in the show notes and description down below. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business, and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.